This is hands down the most genius invention I've ever seen. One single rail, one train running on it, and it never tips over. Back in 1910, an Irish guy built a train that broke everyone's common sense. You push it, it doesn't fall. Power goes out, still standing. All the passengers crowd to one side. Yep, still not tipping. And the craziest part? The core of this thing is just two spinning iron discs hidden inside the train. They spin, and somehow gravity just gives up. But here's my real question. This thing was actually built. It actually worked. So why have none of us ever ridden it? Why did it completely disappear like it never existed? Over 100 years later, we're all still riding trains on two rails. It's like this invention was erased from history. How did it stay balanced? How was it even possible? And who or what made it fade away? Today, we're digging it back up, and we're going to get into every detail. To understand Brennan's genius design, you first need to know something called a gyroscope. Remember playing with tops as a kid? A spinning top. When you push it, it doesn't just fall over. It leans sideways instead. That weird behavior is called precession. Basically, a spinning object will fight to keep its orientation. The more you push it, the more it pushes back. Brennan looked at this and had a light bulb moment. That's it. That's how you make a train stand on one rail. So he started experimenting. He put a high-speed spinning wheel inside a model train, hooked it up to a motor, and let it rip. First test blew everyone's minds. The little train actually stayed upright. Push it, nothing. Poke it, still standing. Like a stubborn drunk who refuses to fall. But then came the problem. When the train turned a corner, the body tilted and over it went. Why? The gyroscope was too stubborn. It tried to keep its direction in space. But when the train turned, the gyroscope actually caused a tilt and flipped the train. Brennan didn't give up. He added a second gyroscope, spinning in the opposite direction, and locked them together with gears. Now, when the train turned, the two gyroscopes canceled each other's bad behavior. The dangerous precession disappeared. The train glided smoothly through the curve. The crowd went silent for 3 seconds, then burst into applause. An amateur inventor solved a problem that engineers thought was impossible, using 2 iron discs. But the real test was still coming. Brennan built a full-size prototype, 12 meters long, 22 tons, 2 gyroscopes spinning at 3,500 revolutions per minute. Now things got serious. A 22-ton steel beast. Once it starts tipping, gravity's force is hundreds of times stronger than in the model. The natural precession from the discs wasn't strong enough to correct it. The train was tilting faster than the gyroscopes could respond, like trying to stop a collapsing wall with your finger. So Brennan went back to the drawing board and came up with something insanely clever. Instead of waiting for the gyroscopes to react naturally, he forced them to act early. He added a pneumatic system. The moment the train even started to lean, the gyroscope's axle would trigger a valve. Compressed air rushed in, pushed the gear frame, and forced the gyroscopes to precess faster. Here's the beautiful part. A tiny tilt opens a valve. The valve calls in compressed air. The air pushes a big piston and multiplies the force. It all happened so fast that passengers don't feel a thing. This wasn't fighting gravity. This was using gravity's own energy to beat gravity. Fighting force with force. Genius. Just genius. In 1910, Brennan showed this train to the public. It sat there gracefully on a single thin rail. The crowd gasped. Journalists went crazy. Government officials were blown away. A whole group of passengers climbed aboard, and the train rode as smoothly as if it were on 2 rails. Brennan just stood there smiling. But then came the part that breaks your heart. Investors saw the demo and said nothing. Not because it didn't work, because they did the math. Every single car would need its own gyroscope system. Expensive to build, complicated to maintain. Meanwhile, 2-rail trains were already running all over Europe. Tracks, stations, repair shops. Everything was already built. Nobody wanted to tear it all down and start over. An invention 100 years ahead of its time, got quietly set aside by money and momentum. Brennan's Monorail faded into history, and no one ever talked about it again.